हेलो किड्स, सुना है कि ओवर स्मार्ट कभी भी नहीं बनना चाहिए क्योंकि ओवर स्मार्टनेस से लेने के देने पड़ सकते हैं। ऐसा ही कुछ इस स्टोरी में हुआ। द टाइटल इज द मिसचीफ। It's not good for you to do so. Bhola raised his voice as his wife Veena demanded more money from him for the domestic expenditure. All the time you are demanding more and more money. After all, what do you do of so much money that I give you? You know, costs have steeply risen, said Veena nonchalantly. बड़ी बार हाउसहोल्ड्स में ये सीन देखने को मिलता ही है. But I have been giving you far more than we have settled for, haven't I? Grumbled Bhola as he got ready to go to his shop. You are a lovely husband, no doubt. But you know, I just can't do without more money, said Veena as she walked to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. Okay, let me see what I can do for you, said Bhola. Bhola and Veena had been married for 3 years. They had one 3-year-old daughter Shivani, who was still in bed fast asleep. He hurriedly finished his breakfast, kissed his daughter and left, waving to his wife. It was Saturday, so Bhola returned home in the afternoon. He found that Veena was ready to go somewhere. Veena welcomed him, made him a cup of tea and said, I will just be back in a while. Bhola busied himself with a cup of tea while Veena walked out with Shivani in her lap. He decided to read to pass his free time. Where is that book that I bought last week? He rose to look for it in the drawing room, then in the bedroom. It was not there. So he entered the storeroom. He pushed open the door. There was a big cabinet. He thought, Veena keeps many things here. It must be here. Searching from drawer to drawer, he slipped his hand to the bottom of one drawer. He felt some papers. He pulled out one. It was a new banknote worth 50 rupees. Wow! He exclaimed as he carefully searched further. There were more. He then took them out. Repeat. Wow! He exclaimed as he carefully searched further. There were more. He took them out. All 50 rupee notes. He counted 1, 2, 6, 7, 11, 18, 19, 20. 20 notes, a total of 1000 rupees. She has so much money hidden here, yet she cries for more money all the time, mumbled Bhola as he slipped the notes into his pocket. I wanted money to give a nice present to Veena on the marriage anniversary 2 days from now, but I could never save it. Thank God, I can do that now. As for money, I will replace it as and when I have, thought Bhola. The book was off his mind. भूल ही गया कि वहाँ तो वो कोई बुक ढूंढने आया था. पैसे देखकर खुश हो गया. Now he was actively thinking what he should buy for his loving wife. Sari? No, she has a lot of them. Sandals? She doesn't like them. Then furniture. There is no place in the house to keep them. Gold? No. Yes, gold. Women like gold. Then what to buy? Necklace? This money is not sufficient to buy that kind of thing. Then ring. Yes, that can be bought with this money. He was charged up with the very thought of giving a gift to his wife because he had failed to gift her anything on the last marriage anniversary and her birthday too. Yet she had given him a beautiful suit on his birthday. Bhola's thoughts were disturbed by the footsteps of his wife. I should buy something today itself because it is Sunday tomorrow and the market will be closed, thought he. So he said to Veena, I am going to Raghu's place. I will be back in a couple of hours. Raghu was his chum, meaning friend. So he went to his house first and took him to the jeweler's shop and bought a gold ring for 1000 rupees. He said, "See, we are not sure of the size. In case there is a problem, we shall return it on Tuesday." "It's your own shop, sir. You can do it at your will. We will refund the cost any time. Only there should not be any scratches on it," the jeweler assured. Bhola gave the ring to Raghu for safekeeping and then he returned home happily. It was Monday. Veena rose early. They had invited only a select few friends to a get-together in the evening. Bhola rather thought it prudent to attend his shop until afternoon. He was cheerfully attending to the customers while keeping a watch over the time. Just then the telephone rang. He answered. "Hello?" "Bhola, Veena here." Veena spoke with an anxious voice. "Is everything all right?" Bhola was worried. "There has been a theft at home. Come home soon," said Veena before she replaced the receiver. Bhola disposed of the customers hurriedly, closed the shop and headed home. As he braked his scooter before his house, he sighted the police jeep. He entered the house. His wife was in the drawing room standing before the police inspector. He asked, "Veena, what has happened?" "I had kept 1000 rupees in the cabinet. They are stolen," said Veena. "ये वही 1000 रुपए है ना जो भोला ने पहले लिए थे?" "Oh, anything else?" "Nothing else. You know, I had saved those rupees for a gift for you today and I didn't find them there." Veena began to sob. "You should not have called the police. You may have kept them somewhere else," said Bhola as he found it difficult to confess that it was his doing. भाई पुलिस के सामने कैसे कह देता कि वो पैसे तो उसी ने लिए थे. Just then the fingerprint specialist came out of the storeroom and said to the police inspector, "Sir, the thief was very clever. He has not left any sign anywhere. He certainly knew where the money was because he has not searched anywhere else, nor has he touched anything else." The police inspector stood up and said, "Now we take your leave. Rest assured, we will certainly nab the thief. I can guess who he is." "Who is he?" stammered Bhola. "Bhai, डर तो लग रहा था ना अंदर से." "You will know it soon," said the police inspector as he left with his subordinates. "Why did you call the police?" Bhola said with a stern voice. "You should have asked me first." "I got puzzled when I found the money missing," said Veena as her sobs turned into cries. Okay, calm down. "Are you sure you kept the money there?" asked Bhola, pretending to act as best as he could. Veena nodded. It was a difficult situation. He had not the courage to speak the truth. He pondered over the newly created situation and decided something. He took leave of Veena and went to Raghu's place. He told him everything and sought his advice. "Can you arrange for 1000 rupees now?" Bhola asked thoughtfully. "I am sorry, I don't have," replied Raghu. "But I think there is a way out." "Tell it soon," Bhola said. "You can do one thing. Refund the ring and place the money in the adjacent drawer stealthily to tell Veena that she had wrongly placed the money in the other drawer," suggested Raghu. क्या क्लेवर प्लानिंग करी ना कि उस रिंग को वापस कर दो ज्वेलर को और 1000 रुपए जो मिले उसको दूसरी ड्रॉअर में रख दो ताकि वीना को लगे कि वो गलत जगह ढूंढ रही थी. Superb idea, exclaimed Bhola as he rose to go out. He took the ring and refunded to the jeweler on the pretext that it did not fit well. He got all 50 rupee notes so that Veena might not get suspicious. In the evening, the marriage anniversary party was arranged, but the theft had already spoiled the enjoyment. Though they cut the cake and served the snacks to the guests, the essence of a party laughter was missing. And it was the making of no one else but Bhola himself. He repented it in his heart, but he had not the courage to divulge it. अभी भी सच बोलने की हिम्मत नहीं थी उसमें। After the party was over, Veena went to bed with a heavy heart. So did Bhola. He anxiously waited Veena to fall asleep so that he could replace the money. And Veena, she was wide awake yet she had closed the eyes. सिर्फ सोने की एक्टिंग कर रही थी, नींद तो कोसों दूर थी. When Bhola saw that Veena had been asleep for quite some time, he stood up, took the money from his pocket, walked to the storeroom, opened its door slowly and pulled open the drawer to replace the money. Having done it, he heaved a great sigh of relief and turned to the door to go to bed. But no, he found Veena standing at the door. She said, "I know what you're up to. You love me so much. You have just kept the money there to make me happy." वीना को क्या लगा कि मुझे खुश करने के लिए वो पैसे उसका हस्बैंड रख रहा है. भोला was perplexed. He did not know what to do. Veena stepped forward and took the money. She gave it back to him and said, "I suppose that you have borrowed this money from somebody." कितनी भोली है ना. नाम हस्बैंड का भोला है लेकिन भोली तो वीना है. क्या सोचा उसने कि शायद भोला ने ये अपने फ्रेंड से मनी बोरो किया है और ड्रॉअर में रख रहे हैं ताकि वीना को लगे कि मनी घर में ही था और वो खुश हो जाए. भोला turned sides all night, but sleep was hard to come by. In the morning, he readied for the shop a little earlier than usual and straight away went to Raghu. He narrated to him what had happened the previous night and sought his advice. "Well, do you have a duplicate key of the house?" asked Raghu. अब क्या नया प्लान है? Let us see. "Yes, but what do you want to do?" Bhola was unable to understand. "I have a plan. In the evening, you will go out for a walk with your wife on some pretext. That time, I will sneak into your house and replace the money with the letter. Do you agree?" asked Raghu. The idea sounded good to Bhola, so he agreed. Raghu wrote a letter thus. ये लेटर लिखा था. Bhola returned home in the evening and asked Veena to get ready for a stroll. Soon they were out of the house. He saw Raghu standing at a pawn shop with his back to him. They looked at each other secretly and smiled. Secret में क्यों? क्योंकि प्लान ही ऐसा था ना. Bhola and Veena went here and there, enjoying themselves for some time. Shivani started to cry, and Veena had forgotten to bring her milk bottle, so they decided to go back home. Bhola was sure that Raghu would have done his job. When they entered the street, they were stunned to find a crowd right in front of their house. They found that the police inspector had arrested Raghu. He was handcuffed. Raghu के हाथ में हथकड़ियां लगी हुई थी. "What's the matter, Inspector? Why have you arrested him? He is my friend," Bhola said with a wavering voice. Why wavering? थोड़ा डर गया था अंदर से कि ये हो क्या रहा है. "Ever since you reported the theft, this area was under watch. After you left, he sneaked into your house. My constable informed me. I reached here immediately and entered the house. I caught him there red-handed with the money. I have reason to believe that he was the culprit who stole your money last time too. How dare of him? He came again to steal?" the police inspector lectured. "Sir, I am not a thief," pleaded Raghu. "Shut up," shouted the inspector. "He is right," intervened Bhola. "He is not a thief." "I have caught him red-handed with the money," retorted the inspector. Veena was not able to understand why Bhola was trying to shield the guilty. वीना को भी यही लगा कि शायद रघु ही चोर है और उसको समझ नहीं आया कि भोला उसको बचाने की कोशिश क्यों कर रहा है. "Believe me, he is not a thief," entreated Bhola. He narrated the full story, but the inspector was adamant. हालांकि भोला ने सब सच बता दिया शुरू से क्या हुआ था, मगर इंस्पेक्टर तो मानने को ही तैयार नहीं. He has got to go to jail, replied the inspector as he asked the constable to take him to the jeep. Sir, search this person. You will find a letter there which will show that he is not a thief, said Bhola as he found it difficult to tackle the inspector. The inspector nodded while the constable found out the letter. He read it out and said, well, this letter proves that it is he who had stolen the money. It is a confession. Then he ordered the constable to seat hapless Raghu in the jeep. Sir, please release him. I beg of you. Raghu joined his hands pleading. Well, I am afraid he will have to go to jail, said the inspector as he drew Bhola aside. And you know, in India, everything can be done. I mean, Bhola understood that the inspector wanted a bribe. He said, Sir, you can keep those 1,000 rupees, but release him. He is my friend and he did it because I asked him to. The inspector shrugged his shoulders, ordered the constable to free Raghu. Then he sat in the jeep and drove off. Bhola's secret was out. His mischief had deprived his wife of 1,000 rupees and a nice gift to himself. They looked at each other, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. तो देखा, ओवर स्मार्टनेस की वजह से क्या का क्या हो गया.